I don't get a scholarship until my sophomore year. Because I have to sign the papers.
I started applying for scholarship, I didn't get it the first round, so it's not sure if you can do ROTC in this freshman year. So, good for you. That's good.
All right, so I'm going to get started as people come in. We're just going to go through introductions right now. Yes, sir. Yes, yes. Because so always is ages. July 1st, January 1st, always look for new forms. And you can bring the notebook back if you want, and then sign there. Can you guys hear me? Can y'all hear me? Okay. If this gets too poppy, I'll switch to the handheld. But I'd like to leave the handheld for you all to ask questions with. So let me try to get this. All right, let me try something. Okay, so we are recording now. And so Bill, I'm going to leave this here with you, since you're kind of midway. Okay. Is this the old one?
This is the
Do you want to take any notes or anything out of here?
well, there are no, I scribbled in it, so
Okay.
I may need to cross.
You just take it with, yeah, that's fine. Okay. We'll give everybody just a few more minutes. So in the meantime, I'll tell you a little bit about me and the class. And I'll have you all introduce yourselves, and then we'll get started. Probably close to 10, so give everybody time to get caught up this morning. So my name is Deb Roof, and this is my cell phone number. So you're welcome to text or email, or you can give me my email as well. So if you have any questions about class or anything, what the homework was, you didn't hear it or didn't see it or you weren't in class. So it's my name.kw@gmail.com. So I've been with Steve Gaskin since 2001, part of the staff that started the office here, and stepped away from the staff position as the COO in 2015 to be an agent with my business partner, Daphne, and to hope to spend more time with my daughter. So we moved out to Culpeper last year. So my commute's 50 plus miles. So that's why my daughter's here. She is my HOV. Although some of you could live 5 miles from here and still take 25 minutes to get here, because when I lived in Falls Church, and during school time, it did take 25 minutes to get here in the morning. So 5 miles away. So sometimes distance doesn't mean a whole lot, but having the HOV does help. I've traveled here in an hour, and I've traveled here in 3 hours. So if I'm ever not here on time, that's because there's something really bad out on 66. But I usually try to alert the office, and it's only happened once. So today's the 16th. And so this is a rough schedule. It does fluctuate based on what we're doing and the questions that we get. But basically, I'm going to read a bedtime story to you all and pray that you don't fall asleep. We are going to read every document out loud in this book, learn about what to fill in and where to fill it in. So the first 2 days, we're going to work on doing buyers. Then we're going to morph into listings. We've got a few guests already scheduled, and others will be scheduled on the 26th, next Thursday. Donna Frio himself from Donna Frio Associates will be here to talk about home inspections, what your role is, what your responsibilities are, how a home inspection is conducted, what's covered, what's not covered. Do not miss this class. If you have to be away, definitely watch the recording of it, because it is invaluable to you to understand what is permitted, what's not permitted. And if you understand all that, when it comes to your closings and discussions and walkthrough items, you'll understand, especially from the listing side, when an agent's having a fit about something, you can simply say, that's not covered or whatever, if you know what you know. So, and Bill's been through a little bit of this. Then we'll have our financial team visit us. So the first will be Ed Duncan on the 27th. We'll continue with listings and contracts and doing other documents throughout the time. Then this time, it's a little bit differently. Normally we have a mock settlement at the very last day of class, but because David is on vacation and our schedule got moved forward a week, mock settlement's going to be August 3rd. And what that means is we're going to choose up sides. 2 of you will play buyer's agent and listing agent, and 2 of you will play the husband and wife of the seller, the husband and wife of the buyer, and then anyone else here that is extra will just be part of the audience. Love participation. Depending on how many people are here, we'll either be in this room or over at David's office, and we'll go through a live settlement on what happens at settlement. You'll have a role to play. You'll have an item or something thrown in there that's going to have to be discussed prior to coming to the closing table. So knowing what you know about home inspections and finance and other things will help you be more informed as a realtor when you get to that settlement table. Learning to keep your emotions out of the fight and just simple facts. What was expected, what needs to be happening, okay? And then the last 3 days, we'll do the rentals and the addenda, all the extra addenda that are out there that you'll want to know about. Home sale contingency and all that. Normally I do that beforehand. We will do all the addenda that pertains to a contract before that last week, so you'll have it for the mock settlement, but the extra addenda and the rentals. And a lot of times when you're first starting out, rentals is where you are. You'll often see a message go out for experienced agent or anyone like a rental, So you understanding the rentals is paramount. Now, in the meanwhile, during this time frame, if you do get a rental and you want to know about specifically the first page, come and talk to me and we'll do the math. Many experienced agents mess up the math on that first page a lot. So that's kind of the schedule. So Mary, you're the first one in the class. Would you introduce yourself and tell me your name, how long have you been in real estate, if you have your MRIS ID, and have you joined MBAR? It helps me understand where you are and what we need to do.
My name is Louis Borey. I passed my PSI exam in January. I just joined in May. And I recently got my MRIS and attended MBAR orientation. So I'm running that.
Great, good. Preston?
My name is Preston Whitaker. Passed my test probably about a month ago, maybe 3 weeks.
Yay.
Just got my license a couple days ago, and I am part of MRS.
Good.
I'm looking forward to running a contract, so I'll do my job.
Yeah, that's right. Rebecca?
My name is Rebecca Bennett. I started here in June. I passed my class at the end of May, I think. I'm on MRS.
Good. Allison?
Allison Relat. I joined at the end of May and I've had my license and MRS and commercial work.
Okay, great. Erica?
My name is Erica Zavales Garcia, and I passed my PSI back in April or May. I got my license in June. I also joined KW June, and I just started being active 2 weeks ago. I got my MRS and already been to my MBAR orientation.
And Bill?
This is my second time through this class.
He joined halfway through the last one.
The rain came in. I am MBA now and also MRIS.
Okay.
I joined in May.
Great. So the reason I'm asking about MRIS and MVAR, sometimes I give you an assignment to do and you can't do it if you haven't joined. So then I would ask that you partner up with somebody to get the information. So the first assignment for everybody is, and we'll make it to the end of the time, not the mock settlement plea, but due on the 10th, when you walk in the door that day, is you need to go to 5 brokers opens So you have 1, 2, 3. So you have 4 Tuesdays, okay? So 5 brokers opens. Now they don't have to be on a Tuesday. A brokers open can be during the week at any other time. And you can find those out by going on to MRIS. 1 brokers open can be KW Falls Church. Only 1. The other 4 need to be from other brokerages. And I would suggest making it 4 different brokerages. You can certainly do more than that. I would suggest you walk in without your name tag on. Well, brokers opens, walk in with your name tag on, I'm sorry. Open houses without. So it's brokers opens, but observe what's going on. I don't want to say any more than that. I just really want you to observe what's going on and make notes to yourself. Walk in like you're looking for a client and you're making notes. The agent there doesn't need to know why you're making the notes. You can or cannot share with them that you are a mirror agent or not. This is all the honor system. But then on Thursday mornings for the first 15, 20 minutes, we will chat about brokers opens and what you saw, what observations, what did you learn from it, what would you implement, what would you not do. Okay, and then you would need to do 5 open houses. Again, 1 can be KW Falls Church, and then choose 4 other brokers. Okay. Now, when you go into MRIS, has anyone looked in MRIS as to where you find open houses and brokers opens? So there's a tab at the top that says opens. So when on Monday, Patricia normally sends out flyers. You may have seen them in your emails called Brokers Open flyers. Those flyers are only for this geographical area because in most cases, the agents are sending them to a specific area around an office. So what you can do is you can go in, if you live in another area, you might live in Centerville or Springfield. So if you want to find out, brokers in other areas, and I would suggest you do at least 1 brokers open outside the Arlington McLean Falls Church area. Agents and the way real estate runs in this little tight-knit group is often very different than what you find outside the Beltway specifically. Okay. We're finding more and more brokers opens outside the Beltway than we did 10 years ago. I called a Springfield office once when we were all at Wycard because one of our agents had a brokers open in Springfield, and I was letting all the offices know that we were holding a brokers open. And several offices of different brokerages, oh, you McLean people, you and your brokers opens. I heard that over and over, and I was just astonished. I was like, what? Because a lot of agents in this tight-knit circle are really, truly full-time agents. And sometimes when you get outside the circle a little bit, outside the Beltway and further out, oftentimes there are more dual agents. But having taught dual agents, there is no such thing in my mind. You are or you're not. You may not have another job, but that does not make you a full-time agent. A full-time agent is your participation. Okay. So it was this kind of funny, but I've noticed more and more now that there are brokers opens, even out where I'm at in Warrington and stuff like that. I'll see brokers opens more and more now than we used to. And then open houses can be held on a Saturday or Sunday. Again, you want to look, just as you approach the property, what are your thoughts? Was it easy to find? What did you see? So that type of thing. Just make mental note of that, and it's for you to use for your own business later. Okay? Is anyone here on a team? Are you joining a team of any sort? Okay. All right. Got the homework out of the way. The other homework will be, we're going to go through the contract, the buyer's exclusive right to represent buyer line by line. You can write in your notebooks. Preston has his. Oh, does everyone have dot loop already? Do you know how to use your dot loop, or have you been to David's class?
Actually, I don't think I've signed in the dot loop.
Okay, so you need to talk to David's out of town right now, but check with Patricia or Debbie Martin or Shannon about getting, make sure you get connected with that. But in the meantime, just use your hard copy. You can also, well, you're not in VAR yet either.
I am.
You are, okay. Okay, so then you can go online to MVAR under Instanet forms. They're free to you. So if they're waiting to connect you to dot loop for some reason, and it might be a day or two, you can certainly go in through NVAR, look for the Instinet forms, and if you want to do them electronically, you can.
Not loop over no server?
No.
Or to get access?
No, .loop is separate.
Yeah.
As to the office. If they can't connect you to .loop in the next day or two, and you choose and you want to look at the forms live, you also have free forms available through NVAR.
Yeah.
And it's called Instinet forms.
So look at it.
Yeah, if you want to bring it down or download them,
Okay.
But you can use your book. This is your book to write in, make notes in. I suggest you do. There's lots of blank pages throughout there. Fill in what we're going through and stuff. So with that said, any questions before we get started? Okay. I'm going to sit over here and work the big screen if I can see it. Because this one fell. This is what I used to look at all the time. And then Bill has the mic. No, we're not. They did not put it out. They want people really to be in class. They're finding that those that are watching online all the time are not actually getting it. It's really nice. We're recording it for people to watch later. But, okay. So, actually, let's see. I'll stand up front for this one. Okay. So before we can do a buyer's agreement, we have to have a buyer, right? So often what happens as an agent, you're driving down the road, you're at a movie, you're at church or at dinner, and your phone rings, and you're proactive, whether you should be or not at that moment. You're afraid to let it go to voicemail, so you answer the phone. So this could happen to you. Bill, hello, my name is Bill Smythe. I was referred to you by Jack Jones. We were stationed together in Germany some years ago. Hello, a friend of Jack Jones? Great. How may I help you? Well, my family is relocating to the D.C. area in the next few months, and we would like to purchase, before I continue, as I'm talking, on the back of that blank piece of paper to your left or whatever, as you're reading through the script, anything that comes to your mind as reading, write it down. Any question that might come to your mind that says, oh, what about this? What about that? Write that down, okay? So Bill, my family's relocating to the D.C. area in the next few months, and we would like to purchase a home. That's great. Tell me about your family. Well, my wife Mary is a pediatrician, and we'll look to join the practice once we get settled. Our daughter's in 8th grade, and our son is in junior high school. He loves to play ice hockey. If you know of any schools that have a team, please let us know. Schools are important to us. Bill, what areas are you interested in? Well, I'm not really sure. We don't know the area except for tourist stuff. I'll be working between the Pentagon and Crystal City. I'm not sure about whether I want to drive or take a metro. I would like to get home within 30 minutes from my job. I should be minutes there. We need at least a 4-bedroom and a 2-bathroom. I would like a garage and a work area. Mary would prefer a master suite. Her parents would probably visit often. I know prices in the area are higher than most. With Mary's part-time salary, we should qualify for about $700,000, but would really like to keep it closer to $575,000, thereabouts. Okay, that's a start. Have you spoken to a lender? No, not for this transaction. Our credit's good. We own a home in Ohio that we rent out. Bill, I can provide you and Mary with the name of a lender that I've had a great working relationship with. His name is Ed, Tim, Rich, and Rob. Would you like his number, or may I give him your contact information to call you? What is a good day and time? If you're looking to move in the next few months, we should really get started. Are you in the area now? No, we're planning a house hunting trip next weekend. Can you show us around? I would love to block some time for you and your family. One of the requirements in our area is that we have a written agreement between you, the client, and our brokerage. It is called the Exclusive Right to Represent Buyers Agreement. There are a few other disclosures that accompany this agreement. We have a few options. I can write up the agreement and send it to you via an online electronic signature, or I can email you PDF copies that you can print out and hand sign. Does that work for you? I guess, but I really would like to sit down across from you face to face. Bill, we can certainly do that. I can send you the documents in an email, giving you a chance to read it prior to our meeting. Please make any notes on it, and I will have a clean copy for your signatures. Will the home be in your name or Mary's? Yes, sure. How will we determine what you're going to see on our visit? Oh, I will set up a search for you. We can refine the search as needed, okay? So a lot of information and a little information, right? So any thoughts come to anyone's mind right off the bat? Anything? The schools, okay. So what about the schools?
They're very important for them, so how can we?
So what can you do about that?
Yeah.
So what can you do about that?
I send them the website to the school reports so they can get an idea of what's available in the area, and that might help them decide what area.
Correct. You can send them links to school reports, school websites, county websites, soccer, whatever it is. You can send them links to that. You cannot advise or talk to them about it, okay? Anything else? So what is the phrase, I was stationed with him in Germany? Does that, obviously none of you have ever been military.
You can probably do a VA loan.
Right, so now two things could happen here.
He's in the Army.
One could be that he was in the Army, one could be that he was a contractor, never in the military. So that's a question as a realtor you could ask as a leading question. When you say stationed in the military, when you say stationed in Germany, are you military or ex-military? Do you have a VA benefit? Okay. Now, a lender, a good lender, will ask those questions as well, but not all lenders ask that question. I just had an occasion recently, some dear old family friends, known them for years, and they're selling their home in Arlington, eventually, building a home out in Strasbourg, and needed funds for that. And they had gone to a lender, and the way they had requested it, our guys couldn't do it here. Highlands didn't do the loan they thought someone told them they needed. So they were recommended to go to another lender. And that lender, all those times, never asked them about a VA of any sort. And it wasn't working out. And I knew that he had been in the Marines. I'm like, well, don't you have a VA benefit? Have you ever used it? Did you use it when you bought your house? She goes, no one's ever asked us that. I have no idea what that means. So I reconnected her with lenders here. And, a cakewalk, basically. And so not every lender, even though they have access to certain programs, they just aren't familiar. Like Ed Duncan here is excellent on VA, and we'll probably talk to you about that. So asking those questions and then letting the lender know as well when you pass them along that, he was stationed, he's ex-military, because what they're going to need is to get their certificate of eligibility, which Highlands can help them find that and give them the right links to get that from the military. Another question, anyone else? Any other questions that may have come to mind? Don't be afraid of a long answer. There's not necessarily one. Very good, Erica. So if you've lived in this area, you stifle your laugh when he says 30 minutes from home. You just, because you have to educate them on the situation here.
Depends on how much he wants to spend.
Well, yes.
He can give him 5 minutes to work if he wants, but he's going to spend a lot of money.
Exactly. But he said he wanted to spend, he thinks he qualifies for $700, but wants us to keep it at $575. That doesn't even get you a Pemmon Hills house, literally. So that's only 3 bedrooms and 1 bath, the traditional Pemmon Hills house. So, so that's an education process. And you don't have to really say much to them. It's when they start seeing the listings, that's when the light bulb goes off. Okay. The other thing is names, okay? Jack did ask, will you and Mary both be on the listing. What Jack also needs to ask, and what you need to ask as agents, what are your legal names? Okay, so the purposes of class, it's William H. Smythe, and there's no E. So you should always ask, how do you spell your last name? S-M-Y-T-H, no E. So William H. Smythe. So you guys want to write this down somewhere because you're going to use it throughout the process. And then Mary G. Smythe. William H. and Mary G. Okay? And if at any time during a conversation someone says we have a trust or we want it in a trust, then your first question is, do you already have a trust established and you want it in a trust immediately? Then you talk to David Robertson and find out what documents you need or whatever title company you're using, and they need to verify that the trust is sufficiently properly written to bring the home into the trust. Some people can have trust and wills written that are not done properly, and they don't specify real property. Yes?
If I have a trust on my house and I need to change it, who would I talk to?
You could talk to David and see if he can do it, because it's a deed, basically. And if he can't, he will refer you to a real estate agent. Yeah. Same with selling. Now, there was a class here David did a week or two ago about estates and trust and what name goes on there. So when we get to the listing side, we'll talk more about that as well. But just keep, listen out for trust, estates, wills. When people say that terminology, it means something. It means how it's written. So instead of being in will, William H. Smythe and Mary G. Smythe, or William H. Smythe, comma, Mary G. Smythe, you don't need an and you don't need an ampersand. You can use a comma, because that's how the online systems are going to put it out anyway. But if they say a trust, then it would be to the, whatever the trust is. So it might be to the William and Mary Smythe Trust, Family Trust Deed, or whatever. Okay? So, but right now we're not doing a trust, but that's just a sidebar. All right, so now with Mary's job, does that really mean a whole lot right now? Because she really doesn't have a job. It's a lack of a job. So a realtor, not a realtor, but a lender is going to discuss that. That's not your job. You're not a lender. You don't know what it plays. So a lender might say, you may have to have 2 months or 1 month, or what is your track record? How much can we count toward that? Or you may have to go in it at this rate, but then once you get a job, we can refinance it. All that to come into play. It really is what the lender decides. The home in Ohio that has a renter in it, okay, the lender more than likely will want a copy of the lease. How much is paid there? What is the longevity of the property being leased? How quickly does it lease if someone moves out? So that's money in your pocket. And is there a mortgage on that house? And in the case of someone with a VA, was there a VA on the house in Ohio? And has it been paid off? If it hasn't been paid off, then they can't use their VA for the new home. Okay? They can use the VA more than once, but they can't have it on more than one property. Okay? So that's kind of the basic run through of that. So with that said, we will start the process here. So Bill's got the mic. If anyone has a question, we'll try to put that on mic so as we're recording it. Okay? So we're starting on page 8. The exclusive right to represent buyer's agreement, affectionately known as the buyer's agreement. So it's stating up front in the opening paragraph what this is, and the date that you put here that it's made on. In our case, we're going to put today's date, but it's the date that you're meeting with your clients. So you might be working on this today for a meeting tomorrow. So put tomorrow's date, okay? And then by in between, so now here you want to put in William H. Smythe, comma, Mary G. Smythe. And then the brokerage name. And it is legally Keller Williams Realty Falls Church. That is our legal entity name. Please never put just Keller Williams. It's not a legal document if it is. Keller Williams is a company in Austin, Texas. It is not us. We are a franchise of Keller Williams. Keller Williams Realty Falls Church. Okay. And then, so that's the heading of the document. Now, what I would encourage you to do before you even open up your document, because I do not teach .loop, but when you open up your documents in .loop, you have a transaction cover sheet or a template, and insert all the information in there, then it's going to easily flow into all your documents. Again, that's something you're going to learn from David, okay, David Donaldson. Attend his classes, attend them more than once, because when you're starting out, you don't know what you don't know. And it's like someone speaking Greek or any other foreign language to you. It is a language. Real estate, realtors, we're a different breed. We speak differently. So we're speaking to one another, we speak one way. And then as we speak to our clients, we should speak a little bit differently. Yes, Bill?
Now, is the date spelled out or is the date done in numbers, or does it matter?
Great question. I would suggest you do the month, the day, and the year spell it out, because there are many countries who do their months and dates differently. Like in Europe, if it was the 11th of February, it's going to say 11-2-2018. And we would have thought it would be November 2nd. In fact, it was February 11th. So I always suggest you spell it out. These are American documents, they're Virginia documents, but nonetheless, it does help alleviate some confusion when we have clients from many different countries. Thank you, Bill. Okay. So now, appointment of broker. So the reason we have Keller Williams Realty Falls Church, because the agreement, as you probably will remember from your passing your PSI, is not between you and the client. In a sense, in the documents, you're kind of insignificant to this document. You're an afterthought at the bottom. You'll see if we get there. You're below the line. So the agreement is not between you and the client. The agreement is between Keller Williams, who is represented by our principal broker, Steve Gaskins, and then Sheila and Shannon, our signator. They have the right to sign documents. But Steve, to my knowledge, unless it's changed recently, is still the principal broker, okay? So the appointment of the broker, in consideration of services and facilities, broker is hereby granted the right to represent buyer in the acquisition of real property, okay? So real property is also land, as well as a place that has a structure on it, as well as a condo, a cabin in the woods. All that is real property, okay? Buyer's representations. Buyer represents that as of the commencement date of this agreement, the date on line 1, buyer is not a party to a buyer's representation agreement with any other brokerage firm. Buyer further represents that buyer has disclosed to broker information about any properties that buyer has previously visited at any new home communities or resale open houses, or that buyer has been shown by other real estate associates in any area where buyer seeks to acquire property under this agreement. Seems pretty straightforward, right? Have you worked with another buyer, another agent, and if so, do you have an agreement with them? Okay? Yes or no? Unfortunately, that can go sideways and you can be lied to. If you see them hesitate in any way, please clarify it. Last week, a case just came before me from an agent in our office who's been working with someone for about 3 or 4 months. In conversation with that client's lender, the agent found out that the clients have started working with yet another buyer's agent. That buyer's agent never asked them if they're working with the buyer, has shown them property, has not signed an agreement with them, but they want to work with her because she was referred from one of the wife's friends. Okay?
So what happens?
Well, our agent, through the brokerage, went to the other agent's brokerage and said, fine, you can work with them, but we want a 25% referral fee. Because here's the agreement that we have with them. Okay? Now, have that second agent ask the buyers, do you have an agreement, and they lied, that's one thing. But the fact that she never asked, and she's continued to show them property, that's a violation. Okay? You have to ask. And you ask, and again, if you see them squirm at all, clarify it. You don't want to spin your wheels showing property to somebody and lose your commission. Okay? So make sure you know up front if they're represented. Okay? Now, they may have said, yes, I have an agreement with someone, but I don't like them. Great. Can you please pull out that agreement and let's look at the termination paragraph, which we'll get there in a few minutes. And then you read that termination paragraph with them and say, this is what it says you must do. Until that's done, I cannot help you and nor can we sign an agreement. But once that's done, we can move forward together. Okay? Because the law is allowed for us as realtors and buyers and risk sellers to fire one another at will, just as long as we do it properly. And there are going to be times that you want to fire a buyer or a seller. Get rid of them, delete them, whatever, because it's not worth the emotional strain that they're putting on you, because sometimes it just gets that way. Okay? So notices. All notifications and amendments under this agreement shall be in writing and shall be delivered using the contact information below. Try not to. All right, let's try something else. Are we popping too much? Okay, so the buyers, mailing address, city, state, and zip where they live. Now, this is the Smiles. They live in Germany. So you don't necessarily need their German address unless you're going to send them something. It's usually probably an APO box. But you definitely need a phone number and an email address, okay? The brokerage, absolutely. The address, which is 105 West Broad Street, Suite 200. If your office is on the third floor of the office, it does not mean your address is Suite 300. The office address, this is the broker. Broker's address is Suite 200. That's in Falls Church, Virginia. And the zip code is 22046. Okay. The office phone number is 703-533-1500. That's 703-533-1500. There is no cell number for the office. We do not provide them with Steve Gaskin's cell phone number, okay? The email that you use for the office is not Steve Gaskin's, it's the office email that several people monitor, so it's always covered, and that is kwfallschurch@gmail.com. kwfallschurch@gmail.com. Now, I do believe that David has been very kind and has pre-populated a lot of this in your documents. But you might be, one day we're going to have to handwrite this and it's not there. So just know what your office address is, okay? It should be on your business card as well. But the email is not your email. I see this on contact constantly. The email that goes here is not your email. It is the office's email, and the reason is your client, by law, has to know how to get a hold of the broker at any time, okay? Anything can happen to you, to any of us, at any time. Thursday night, my brother-in-law was in a horrific accident in his driveway with a Harley trike. He is in Fairfax Hospital now, in trauma, okay? At his job, there's a lot of things going on that he's responsible for. you know. Fortunately, he has someone that he CCs on all his communications so they can try to pick up the pieces. He can't even speak right now to tell someone what to do. He can write. When the day she was born, I worked for an attorney, and I was an emergency C-section. I had waited a half hour to tell the world that I was going in for emergency C-section, and here's what someone needs to do. So sometimes we have that time to do it, and sometimes we don't. So your client needs to know if something will happen to you, who do they contact, okay? So this is why when you do a document, and when you're using .loop especially, it's there. So if something would happen to you, Sheila, Steve, Debbie Martin, Sharon can go into .loop, bring up your stuff, can read it real quickly, and know what's going on. They can contact the other agent. They can contact the client, okay? They can make sure the process continues on whether you're in the picture or not, okay? You can just simply have to think. You can't think straight. I mean, a lot can happen, okay? So that's why it's important that the email is there and that your client's email is there, okay? For something like the cell phone, no. But when it comes to some other things, yes. You want to write NA or 0. So as we get there. So termination. Okay, this is where most agents never read this paragraph. This agreement commences when signed and subject to compensation paragraph and terminates at 11:59 p.m. on. Okay? Now, when you guys were going through school, did someone tell you an agreement's only 3 months? Huh? 90 days, but that's not law. Did they say it was law or suggestion? Right. The default's 90 days because in my class before bills, they kept insisting that it was 90 days, and I did research and said there is no law that says that. It's an agreement between you and the client. It can be for today. It can be for an hour. It can be for one property only. It can be for one neighborhood only. It just has to be specified. And a contract is only a contract when the termination date is specified. So you might have long-term clients, or you might have someone who you just met is not comfortable with you. So you can say, well, let's do it for 30 days, and then we'll extend it. And then you take your phone, and at day 25, you remind yourself to get a new one signed. You know, an amendment to this, and extend the date, okay? No, it's how you and your client know each other. Some people, you've been referred by your best friend and they have total trust in you. So they're okay with 120 days, or they might be looking in a specific area for a specific type of home, like an in-unit townhouse in a specific neighborhood. And they don't come on the market that often, so they're willing to wait. So having a 30-day agreement with them is kind of a waste of time. You might need 3, 6, 8 months, a year. There's some agents here do them for a year. A listing, for example, you know, yes, we're in a seller's market pretty much, but there are pockets that we're not. So it's how the two parties feel comfortable. But all the while, you assure your client that the next part of this paragraph states that with an expiration date that either party may terminate this agreement prior to the expiration date by notice to the other. And you give notice by what it says in the paragraph above. Okay, you've got the information. And I would suggest all notice be in electronic form, as in an email, not a text message. Okay, agreement prior to the expiration date by notice to the other. In the event that the buyer wishes to terminate this agreement prior to the expiration date without good cause, buyer shall compensate the broker blank early termination fee in addition to any compensation otherwise due pursuant to this agreement. Now, in the case of buyers, most people write in here 0, the number 0, or NA. They don't charge the buyer. If you're not sure, you can certainly do that if you want to make it your business practice, but the only thing I say, it's the same for everybody. You cannot pick and choose who you're going to put a termination fee in for. If they have purple hair, and you say, I don't work with purple hair people, Very well, so I'm going to charge them a termination fee. Okay, you can't do that. It's against the fair housing law. You have to be equal across the board. So as you get into these decisions on retainer fees and flat commissions, make yourself a file on your phone, on your PC, on your Mac, and call it your business practices and put the date, and this is what I'm doing on this date. And then when you update it, like maybe next year you give yourself a raise and you want to raise a fee up. Just as is for everybody. With that said, let's say you're someone who's a nurse and you say, in my business practice, I'm going to give the nurses a reduction or whatever. Then you put that in your business practice. So anyone who's a nurse gets that reduction, but no one else gets it, okay? Just protect yourself. Do not, and then if you're doing tri-state or dual state, your Maryland or DC, you can have it higher than Virginia if you choose. Just make sure it's consistent across the board, okay? So broker's duties. Broker shall promote the interest of the buyer by A, performing the terms of the brokerage agreement, B, seeking a property at a price and term acceptable to the buyer, C, representing in a timely manner all written offers or counter offers to and from buyer, D, disclosing to the buyer all material facts related to the property or concerning the transaction of which they have actual knowledge, E, accounting for in a timely manner all money and property received in which the buyer has or may have an interest, unless otherwise provided by law or buyer consents in writing to release the information. Brokers shall maintain the confidentiality of all personal and financial information and other matters identified as confidential by buyer. If that information is received from buyer during the broker's relationship and satisfying these duties, broker shall exercise ordinary care, comply with all applicable laws and regulations, treat all prospective sellers honestly, and not knowingly give them false information. In addition, broker may show the same property to other buyers represent other buyers on the same or different properties, represent sellers relative to other properties, or provide assistance to a seller or prospective seller by performing ministerial acts that are not inconsistent with the broker's duties under this agreement. Buyer acknowledges that the seller or sellers representing may not treat the existence, term, or conditions of offers as confidential unless confidentially is required by a written confidentiality agreement written between the parties. The simplest thing is don't stand in the kitchen and talking about your clients. Don't use their names. Don't use the property they're interested in. Don't talk about their financials. If you have a question for one of the brokers or a mentor, take them aside in the conference room. It's not inconceivable that someone else in the office may have a buyer for the same property. So if you're talking strategy and someone overhears it, whose fault is it? Yours for having an open conversation, okay? I see this way too often that people will, and when I was on staff, I used to sit at the front desk a lot, and people would just stand there, I'm like, shh, lower your voice. It's not that someone else is trying to purposely eavesdrop, but it's just not unheard of, okay? That someone can get that. So the paragraph also clarifies with your buyer that you as an agent may have another buyer that's looking for the same property. Do you have a question, Bill? Go ahead.
But not pertaining to this, so.
Okay. So that you, as Preston, could have, Allison and Erica both may be interested in condos in Arlington between $600,000 and $800,000. You both may be writing. So Preston represents you both. The Preston doesn't have to share with either one of you that he represents both of you. That's not what it says. He has the right to represent both of you. Okay? At the same time, Preston is guided by the lender, what the lender says that you each can afford to buy, by what you as the clients wish to offer. Now, what becomes difficult for Preston is perhaps Erica is his sister's best friend, and his sister's putting pressure on him to make sure Erica gets it. And Allison says, well, I only want to pay $675, you know, and it's a $700,000 property, but it's been on the market for 3 months. And Preston can say to Erica, well, if you pay, you know, if you offer $770, you might get it, because you have personal knowledge that she's offering something else, right? So that's a difficult position that you're in. It doesn't preclude you from serving both of them, but it's just, you have to, what you need to do is hold yourself back when you have knowledge of both deals and not advise one or the other over the other, okay? It's best to let them tell you what they want, let the lender tell you what they can afford, and then present the offers, okay? If you ever feel that that's not in your ability to do, then you engage another agent to work on your behalf just for the writing part of the offer, okay? You pay them a fee, it doesn't have to be a percentage, it goes through the office. You're making it, so Preston might say to you, hey, I've got 2 clients, they both qualify for the same property, I would like them both to see it, I don't feel that I can comfortably represent them both. And you would say to one or the other, you tell the truth, you tell the both people that what the situation is, and say, Lou, for X amount of dollars, and Lou and you agree, you put it in writing, okay? Just a simple piece of paper that you both sign. I'm going to pay you X amount of dollars to write a contract, to write an offer for my client, Erica, okay? If Erica's offer is received and accepted, then Lou drops out of the picture and you're back as agent, okay? And then you move forward with it to fruition, okay? You guys understand that? Any questions? Or you can say to both clients, hey, I've got you and so, you don't use their names, I've got 2 of you looking for the same property. Do you feel comfortable with me representing you all the way through? If not, this is what I can do, okay? But just be honest with yourself and with each other, okay? That way it doesn't avoid someone coming back to you and saying, you really didn't represent me. You know, Allison can say, you really wanted Erica to get the deal, so you didn't tell me that I should have offered, you know, $5,000 more. And even though you knew that Allison could afford that, you didn't advise her to raise her offer, okay? Okay, Bill? Let me turn me off. Let me turn me off.
Trevor, okay. Can you scroll back down a little bit right there in the middle where it says page 1 of 5? You want the buyer's initials, and then it says broker. So does that need one of the broker, associate broker's signatures, or is our signature sufficient for the broker? Broker, okay.
Okay, so yes, so on each page, as you're going through this, once you've filled it out, you know, the basics, and you meet with your client, and you finish filling it out, and then your client's ready to sign, your buyer or buyers are going to sign on the buyer side, then you may have 4 buyers, okay? That's where it becomes a little bit more difficult to sign it electronically, but it can be done. You just have to drop and drag it in there. They don't auto-populate to the fields, but it can be done. And then once your buyer signs it completely, that's when you submit it to the broker for their signature. Okay, so and in that loop, you send it through to the Keller Williams Falls Church office. So whatever broker is on duty that day, it will be the one to sign it. You don't put Steve's name, you don't put Shannon's name, you don't put Sheila's name, because they all 3 have the right to sign it. So they take turns in their own way they do their days and how they do the signing. One of them will go in and sign it. Okay? And then, so the duties, broker duties, buyers shall work exclusively with the broker during the term of the agreement, i.e., you don't work with 2 different agents. Now, if they say we're looking in Maryland and Virginia both, and you're not a Maryland agent, then they will have a Maryland agent. If they don't know one, you can refer one to them and get 25% commission as a referral fee. So always think about those things. So it's possible that they have 2 agents, but it could be in 2 different states, okay? But in Virginia, this is a Virginia contract. We're dealing with Virginia law only here. So they pay broker directly or indirectly the compensation set forth below, comply with reasonable request of broker to supply any pertinent financial or personal data to fulfill the terms of this agreement, and be available during broker's regular hours to view properties. Okay, that's your schedule. Broker's regular hours, that's your schedule. You set your schedule, what days you want to work, when you want to work, and I'm sure in class with Eric and some of those, you're learning how to control your time, giving yourself family time and personal time, and not be available 24/7. So if you have it that you don't work on Wednesdays, then as best you can avoid scheduling something on the Wednesday. You would say to your client something like, I'm available on Tuesday from noon to 4 or Thursday from 10 to 2, which day works better for you for us to go out and look at properties. Now, there are rare occasions where that doesn't happen and you have to adjust your schedule. And yes, it is real estate, it is your livelihood, and we all do that, okay? But those are just ways to say, instead of saying I'm not available on Wednesday, just say when you're available. Okay, kind of, and most times if you give someone 2 choices, they're going to choose one or the other. Okay, and as you know your client, you know, especially if someone has children, for example, and they nap between noon and 2, you know you're not going to show on between noon and 2. Okay, So buyer is advised against and assumes responsibility for taking, posting, publishing, or displaying any photo or video recording of any property without first obtaining seller's written consent. So when you're walking through a home with a buyer and you yourself, you are not permitted to take pictures of the house inside without the consent of the seller. So you get that consent by contacting the listing agent and asking them to get permission. Because we have pictures up online. Right now they're 30. When we fully get converted, we're going to have 90 pictures available for each listing. But sometimes the pictures don't give the whole picture, as it were. Or someone wants to walk through the property because the spouse isn't there, or their mother or dad's not there, and they want to do a live video, they want to do FaceTime. So that's all okay with the permission of the other agent. But if your client does it and you warn them not to and they still do it, you are exonerated if they get sued, okay? If all of a sudden Joe Smith's house is all over the internet because your client posted it to a friend on Facebook, to a friend, Joe Smith can sue your client, but you're exonerated, okay?
As soon as they sign that, if they just start taking live video, you're fine.
You need to say you can't do that.
Yeah.
Right.
I can't do that, but if they keep doing it,
right,
you're fine.
Because it says they are advised against it and assumes full responsibility. Right. Now they then say in court, oh, well, Preston said I could, just be careful. Well, that's a different story. But if they ever keep doing it, you should say you cannot do this. Right? Yes, Erica.
Get a written consent.
From the other agent, yes. You send an agent an email and they respond back in an email. That's consent, okay? All right? So I had a buyer who, renters, they were here for a short time planning to buy. Their job came about quickly. He found out on a Sunday he had the job. They were in town that Monday and went back to Georgia and that was in mid-February and needed to move here by mid-April. So what I did with all the agents, I explained the situation and said, this is what I would like to do. Is it okay? And all but one said, sure. So I walked through the house with FaceTime or Skype, whichever worked better in that neighborhood. And, with my iPad, and I just walked through and talked about what I saw, and they got to see the whole house. And they did everything remotely and did not see the house until the day they moved in, But it's all about permission and it's all about working together, okay? So up here in the paragraph, it says to you that buyer is directly or indirectly compensating you as the agent, okay? So before we get into this, which is a little bit more difficult for people to understand, let's take a 10-minute break. Okay, so let's look at compensation here. Paragraph 7. Okay, the purpose, and then we go to compensation. Okay. So up above here, we've talked about a broker's duties and that the broker is indirectly or directly, the buyer is to directly or indirectly compensate the broker as set forth below, okay? So when you see those words as set forth below or as set forth above, that's part of the contextual understanding of what you're doing. So you have to go back and look above or below. So when you see phrases like that, it's telling you, hey, this sentence really doesn't end here because something else becomes part of it. And when we get into contingencies and other things, that really becomes important. The what ifs, the ors, that all makes a difference, okay? So the purpose is the buyer is retaining a broker to acquire the following type of property. So what type of property? Exactly. It could be a single-family detached. It could be a townhouse. It could be a condo. It could simply be residential property because they're not sure. So the simplest thing is residential property. If you have a client that's very specific as to what they want, then be as specific as you can in the paragraph here. If they say, I want a condo in Arlington on the 3rd floor above between $700,000 and $900,000, write that there. Because you yourself will walk away, especially if you have more than one client, and go, oh, what did you just ask me? I know it's a condo, but what was the specifics, okay? So it's very specific, and you will find clients who are going to be very specific about what they want, and they're willing to wait for it. Yes, go ahead, Rebecca.
I was just wondering, if you put something very specific on there, let's say it's for that kind of condo, do they then to buy a house or put another realtor?
No. So, great question. So Rebecca's question is, if you go that specific, can they define the single-family house working with another realtor? No. So I would do the specifics and then say residential property or residential property specifically this or whatever. Or make a note to yourself somewhere what the specific requests are. It's just to protect you. And what also comes in handy is as you grow in your business and you may choose to hire a transaction coordinator or an assistant, we're moving very fast in real estate. So having that specific, or you can use the other paragraph below where it's very, very specific, so that someone helping you can also see what the request is. So what we're saying, Allison, on purpose, the simplest thing is to buy residential real estate. It could be to buy land as well, okay? But generally speaking, it's residential real estate. Then if they really want to get specific, like if someone really wants specifically a particular size condo or a particular floor or a particular neighborhood, you can make that and write it out or put it in the other paragraph at the bottom so that anyone coming behind you or you yourself, when you go to set them up in MLS, you're setting up for what they want, okay? So what's the worst thing that can happen is if a client tells you very specifically that they want something from this to this or this particular thing and you do the whole every condo at Arlington and they're looking at hundreds of listings, they get upset with you, you know? Now, if a client does say, I want, a condo, 3rd floor and above, 700 to 900,000, and the lender letter says they can go up to $1 million. You might say to them, well, would you want me to put it into $1 million? You can certainly negotiate, but there might be the perfect property that's $905,000, so you can cushion that, up a little bit. And stay within what they're looking for and let them decide, but it gets rid of everything else out there that they don't want to see, okay? You can also, the condo fees and HOA fees, there is a tab to specify, if someone says, I want a condo, but I don't want to pay more than $300 a month in condo fees, then there's a place in the listing to say, $300 less. And we'll get into that later on in class, toward the last week, on how to manipulate things in MRIS. Okay, here's the hardest paragraph for people to understand and to get. These next two, because it's about compensation. It's a touchy subject. It's your commission. It's how you get paid. Okay, so it says retainer fee. Broker acknowledges receipt of a retainer fee in the amount of blank, which shall or shall not be subtracted from any compensation due broker under this agreement. The retainer fee is non-refundable and is earned when paid. Again, this is a business decision. Are you going to charge a retainer fee? Majority of the agents do not. Okay, your client may feel odd about it, but if you choose to make this your business practice, where I see it more than I do in purchases is in rentals. So someone may choose to do a retainer fee in rentals after, say, showing 3 properties. Then a retainer fee may kick in. Okay, but again, it's your business. Virginia gives you the right to do this. Your broker gives you the right to do this. You have to make it your business practice, and you have to be fair and equitable across the board. So again, make yourself a business folder and write in there that you are or not charging retainer fees. And if so, what is your start date? What's your anniversary date? If you decide to give yourself a raise, and if you're deciding that the nurses are not going to be charged the fee, you write that down. Okay? You never want for someone to come up to you or go to court and say you were prejudiced against them for any reason. Unfortunately, it's out there in this world, and I just hate it. Okay? Buyers shall pay compensation the amount of. So, up above, see in section B there, CB, pay broker directly or indirectly. So in general, in broad generalities, the buyer is paying the brokerage indirectly, which is through the purchase of a property, whereby the seller is paying the commission. Okay? Yes. So paragraph 6B, it says broker, says the buyer will pay broker directly or indirectly the compensation set forth below. So below is paragraph 8. So directly means that the buyer is paying the broker something. It could be your retainer fee. It could be your full commission, okay, if you have the right conversation. Indirectly covers the buyer where it is, and traditionally it's the seller who pays commission to the listing broker, who then shares their commission with the selling broker, who's the buyer's agent, okay? So in general terms, you'll see when we get into listings next week, ideally, a listing agent would like to get 6% commission from their seller. Then that listing broker shares 3% with the selling agent, also known as the buyer's agent. So the term selling agent refers to the buyer's agent. I know it sounds like seller, but it's selling and buying agent is the same person, and the listing agent is the one selling the home. Okay, a little confusing there. Different parts of the country use the words differently. That's why we have both terms. So let's say that traditionally it's the case where it's a 3-3 split. Okay, so if I were to write in paragraph 7, 10 years ago, it wouldn't have been much of an issue. I would have said 3% and been done with it. On paragraph, 8B here, on 8B, I would have written 3% and probably just walked away and been done, and that's how many agents used to do it. Then some brokerages require that you charge what used to be called the administrative fee, which you can't call it that anymore. There was a court case about 8 or so years ago, so it's called a flat commission. So many brokerages in the area, their agents are required or mandated to charge that fee. Okay? In some cases, it goes directly to the brokerage itself. Sometimes it's split with the agent. Here at Keller Williams, it's your choice as an agent to charge it or not. Okay? It's called a flat commission. So again, you make yourself a business folder. You say, I'm going to charge a flat commission across the board, except for nurses. My daughter's going into nursing. I guess it's on my mind, right? I'm going to charge $395, $495, $550, $250, whatever it is. That's what it is. It's for everybody the same across the board. So let's say I'm going to charge $395. That was kind of when we came here from Wycard 5 years ago now, right? 5 years ago. That was close to what Wycard was charging, so a lot of our agents chose to continue charging the flat commission. So it's plus, and then you write out the words flat commission. You do not write administrative or anything else. Make sure the word commission is there, flat commission. 8B, yes. Okay. So that would be acceptable about 10 years ago. That would have been okay. You really wouldn't have much problem with that. It would have been pretty standard. I could have written 3% plus $395 flat commission, and I really probably wouldn't get in trouble too much. I really wouldn't have any issues. Okay? Then we went a little bit further because things started changing, and then we would also say, we might have said per MRIS or MLS. So the difference between these two, it's simple. This is Kleenex, this is facial tissue, okay? Facial tissue is a type of product, which is a multiple listing system. Kleenex is a main brand, okay? So MRIS is the main brand of what we use currently here. It's really Bright MLS now. It's easier to write MRIS than Bright. But, so either one are acceptable. You could just write MLS. So you can say, okay, per MLS. So if you were to write 3% plus or minus plus $395 commission or per MLS, then that gets a little confusing because what about if MLS is only offering 2.5? So you bring up a listing and the listing agent has only offered 2.5% to the buyer's agent. Okay. Now, if there was a big or here, that would be okay because you're saying 3% plus my flat commission or what's offered in MLS. Exactly. Great pickup, Rebecca, because you're saying or here. So most agents think that they're saying, okay, I'm willing to take 2.5%, but the or proposition negates this flat commission here, okay? So a better way to write all this and to protect yourself. I'm gonna have to just one of these days. I told this last time, right, Bill? I'm gonna take a collection up for a new board. So now, if you were to write 3% plus flat commission, and that would be it, okay? And MLS offered 2.5%. So what do you think that means to you between you and the buyer? They owe the other 0.5%, exactly. So if you were to write 3.5%, 3% plus the flat commission, and MLS has it listed at 2.5, technically speaking, direct or indirectly, your buyer owes you the difference. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you as an agent have a conversation with the buyer up front at this paragraph point, and if you do go that route, make sure they initial it. Okay? I mean, if whose reputation has preceded them and people are willing to do it. However, here's the caveat to all that. This is what most people don't realize. The lender has to allow that 0.5% to be paid. That buyer has to have that availability to pay it. It may mess up their ratios. So if you ever decide to go this route, they initial the paragraph, you have a conversation with them in depth. Traditionally speaking, we get 3%. However, some agents only offer less than 3%. It could be 1.5%, it could be 2%. But I always charge 3%. Therefore, buyer, you need to make up the difference. I need to have a conversation with your lender, let them know that's going to be the case, and get it approved by them. So chances are they're not going to sign with you. I wouldn't do it. I really wouldn't do it. Very few agents do it. Very few. When it first started happening, more were probably a little bit more successful than they are now getting this accomplished because of the Redfin world out there. I was just at a settlement last week. Now I know ahead of time because the listing agent mistakenly sent me his listing agreement back with his documents, which was something not smart. So I knew from the get-go that he was getting 3%. He was only giving us 2%. Makes it sour tasting in your mouth. It's like, really? But anyway, so the best thing to do is to put per MLS plus whatever the amount of dollars is for your flat commission, and write that out. And that's what it is. So whatever the MLS is offering is what you're willing to take for commission. Okay? So they're offering 4%. Because sometimes in loan deals, I've seen up to 7%. So if I put 3% in here, and they offer me 7% on a loan deal, so it's easier and clearer to just put per MLS, and then plus the dollar amount. And again, you set your business practice up if you want to choose. Starting out, you might want to, you do split that commission with the office. It's at your same split. Whether it's 70-30 when you come on or when you cap. If you cap, it's 100% yours. Until you cap, you split it with the office. Yes?
When I did my first buyer's contract, my mentor had like 3% or as per MLS or builders. What is the builder part?
So if your mentor didn't share with you that you need to have a conversation with your buyer, that they're going to pay the difference if it's less than 3%. So that's where it's wrong. And a lot of people who've been around for years, it's just a habit. They've never really thought about what the words actually say because they learned the old way. Okay? So when it comes, good question. That was my next thing. So when you go down to the last paragraph, so what I generally do here is I put an asterisk. And then I go down to paragraph 16 and I finish it because it doesn't all fit in up here on paragraph 8. So up here, as I said, I would put per MLS, and if there's a commission, and if I can fit it, sometimes .loop does or does not let it all fit, then I'll put an asterisk and say see paragraph 16. And then there I'll say or put builder's agreement, or I put or negotiated builders compensation, or FSBO. Okay, so FSBO is for sell by owner. So then I tell my clients, and if you get a chance to go to the home a buyer's consultation presentation, Drew Swirsky and some of the others will do this. Drew tells you have a conversation with your client, you're setting up your buyer's agreement, give them a little snack-sized Ziploc bag with a bunch of business cards in here, and you say to them, this is your get-out-of-jail-free type card. If you go to an open house, if you go visit any builder sites, or if you see a FSBO driving by a neighborhood one day, if you talk to anybody, you give them my card so they know I represent you, okay? Then the next thing is they call you directly right away and you make the connection. But in your agreement, you have said per MLS plus my flat commission if there's one. And then you also say negotiated agreement with builders and FSBOs. So I had a client recently, the one that settled last week. He saw a FSBO in Springfield. I contacted the The person told me he was offering 2.5%. So I had the papers ready and walked over there. And I was chatting with my client. He said, "You know, your name, it says 3%. I said, "Okay, good," because his father on 0, and it was written on mine. So I was ready to change the papers to 3%. We ended up not getting that house, but it was a conversation we had up front. I was driving at the time he came and he saw it, so I didn't have time to look it up myself till I got there. But if things like that happen, your client is, let's go and pick peaches this weekend, and they go buy a new build place out somewhere, and they're so eager, let's stop and see, okay? That's where you as agents have to remind your client that you represent them, and that if they don't do these certain steps, you can be out commission, or that they will owe you the commission, direct or indirect, because they really owe you that commission if they don't do it the right way, but you have to remind them. So you stay in contact with them and you remind them. Remember, if you're going out on the weekend and you happen to see a new build that you weren't sure you didn't know was there, and you're all excited, please make sure you have my card. Keep this Ziploc bag in your car. Give one to the husband and wife both. Make sure your card is ever present with them, okay? Because you do not want to lose out on commission. Some builders don't mind giving the commission to the agent, and it's built into what they do. It's a different pot of money because it's treated differently in their tax structure than offering a kickback to the buyer. So it's different pots of money. It doesn't mean that the buyer is going to get any better deal because they didn't have an agent necessarily, okay? Then there's also private builders, totally different. I almost treat them more like FSBOs. And you can negotiate with them, okay? Any questions about commission? It's tough.
Can you explain a little bit more what the flat commission is? This is the first time.
So years ago, flat commission was known as an administrative fee. It was just an extra added thing that brokerages started adding because basically it kept the lights on in the building is what it was. Then there was a court case out Midwest somewhere that fought against it as an administrative fee, found it to be a junk fee. So they had to stop calling it an administrative fee, but it was accepted that it was called a flat commission. So it's a commission that the buyer or the seller is paying you over and above whatever else is out there, okay? I would say about a third of the agents here, maybe less, a quarter of the agents do a flat commission fee. And they just present it. The general public, depends on how knowledgeable they are. Some have heard it being junk fees and will fight you over it. Others know it's out there. Long & Foster and Weicker and some of the other brokerages, every agent has to do it. If the client doesn't pay for it, the agent pays for it 100% to the other brokerages. Here at Keller Williams, it's not mandated. It's your choice, but it's a business practice that you set in place. Okay? And again, it's across the board. You do it for everybody. Now, if you have a client and maybe the client says, look, it's a junk fee. I am not paying it. That's fine. You cross through it and just say, not willing to pay, have them initial it. Okay? Now, if you ever audited and everyone who crossed through that was a blonde, but every other hair color person paid it, it'd be a little suspicious. Okay? So don't use it for that purpose. Don't use it for that purpose. But, I mean, people can think of this just will come off the top of my head. Okay? There have been cases. If you get it, you split it with the office, and it's yours. 70% of it's yours, and 30% is the office. It's just commission over and above. I know some agents in this office charge $6.95, $7.95 on every transaction. Extra commission. I know some that charge $2.50. Some that charge $3.50. Again, it's their practice, it's their business, and Steve encourages people to do it. It's extra commission for you. If your client asks you, say, well, it helps defray some of my costs of, gas or whatever driving you around. It's a lieu of a retainer fee, type thing.
So the buyer pays it doesn't come out of the seller.
Correct. The buyer pays it. It's on the HUD. When you send the contract to the lender sees it's on the HUD. The lender knows that they're paying it, okay? The HUD of the Alta statement. It's up front. They know it's there. It won't be on the contract, but it's on the agreement between you and the buyer or you and the seller if you choose to do it. Again, you might try it. You might ask for some tips from some of the people in productivity, what's some of the verbiage they use when they're talking to a buyer or seller. Survey agents, pros and cons. What are the pros and cons of using the flat commission? Do that for yourselves, But again, if you give someone a buy on it, then you need to make sure there's a reason. It's just not because it's a specific group. I mean, if all nurses, fine. But if it's all blondes, that's a different thing, right? You could have been a fireman in the past, could be lawnmower services. Those going to give those guys a break, or fireman or something like that. So with that said, it's how you present it. It's your posturing. If you go into it in a meek situation or a fearful way of saying it, then that alerts someone. If you're just very, very matter of fact about what you're saying to somebody, then it doesn't raise red flags for them. I sold a property a couple years ago in Pemmon Hills, and the gentleman was in his late 70s. And I had my listing agreement all set, and I was going through paragraph by paragraph, and I said the compensation is 6%, 3% to the listing agent and 3% to the buyer's agent. He goes, really? Still? I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, it was that in 1962. So here I was expecting him to go, that's a lot of money. No, it was that in 1962. I can't believe it hasn't gone up yet. And I'm now listing 7 of his properties down in the mountain, but nothing's happening there. But anyway, the prices have gone up, but yeah, the amount of commission. But it was just so encouraging to hear that, because you usually hear the other stories. And then, of course, people will say to you, well, what about Redfin? They offer me 1% back. Okay. So what about Redfin offers me a percentage back? What happens when you hear that? Why should I choose you over someone from Redfin? Anybody? Huh? Well, there's a lot of reasons, right? Now, one thing that Redfin doesn't tell people is that if the lender doesn't have that kickback commission, the client doesn't get it. Well, sure. If the lender doesn't allow it to come back, then if their ratios are such that they can't take compensation, then they might take it. It might be in lieu. It might be like a seller subsidy or something. But it's one of those great areas there. But again, you can offer a kickback. We don't like to use the word kickback, but generally that's what it is. You as an agent, especially Keller Williams agent, you have autonomy when it comes to that. Okay? So if your client says, I want 1% back, you can choose or not choose. But you would say with lender's permission, and if the lender doesn't agree, then they don't get it. You cannot write them a check post-settlement. You cannot give them money after settlement. That's illegal. Okay? So years ago when we were at the other brokerage, a lot of our agents ended up having clients that worked with USAA. And back then, USAA was giving a $1,600 credit allowance to buyers or sellers if they used USAA, and USAA found an agent for you. Okay? So Steve said to our agents, well, I'm giving you permission. Of course, the big bosses didn't like it, but that doesn't matter. Steve said we're going to do it. Because some commission is better than no commission, right? So our agents have the authority in our particular office to offer a matching or even $50 more. Okay. And Steve fought really hard for them to keep the extra commission and split it equally, the reduction with Wygood. So here at the office, it's the same thing. We split it with you. So if there's a reduction, it's still the same split. We don't make it come all out of your pocket. Okay. You do need a letter from the broker acknowledging the credit when a contract is written and you're ready to go to settlement, you have to provide that to the settlement company. Okay? But if you have a client who says, I want some money back, and you say, well, what do you think the benefits of using Redfin versus me? You know, and if you don't know what the difference is, you should educate yourself a little bit about Redfin. Talk to some agents. Usually at Redfin, they're not going to see the agent. They're going to see, they might see the agent once, but they're going to deal with at least 5 or 6 other people throughout the transaction. Okay, and they get paid a salary for whether they do what they do or not do. And so anyway, do not freeze on this paragraph when you're talking to your clients. They sense fear. Agents freeze. They skip over. They go over so quickly no one knows what was said. This is your livelihood. Be proud and bold what you do. You know, they've been referred to you. You're bringing value to them. Okay? So don't skip over this paragraph. Okay? So continuing on. Broker's fees shall also be earned due and payable by buyer under either of the following circumstances. So if within 30 days after expiration or buyer's early termination of this agreement, buyer enters into a contract to acquire real property of the type discussed in the purpose paragraph, unless buyer has entered into a subsequent buyer agreement with a real estate broker, or it's not an and proposition, it's an or. If having entered into an enforceable contract to acquire real property during the term of this agreement, buyer defaults under the terms of the contract. So if within X amount of days, and I wouldn't string it out more than 30, some people do 45 and 60, and that's okay, it's your business. But if a buyer is not going to work with you because they want to move on, or you guys didn't work out, or they didn't find anything, you know, don't string it out. If a buyer really doesn't like you, or you're not working, or they don't think you're working for them, they're going to go find another agent if they're that interested in buying. Where this paragraph protects you with the 30 days is if you don't calendar yourself on the expiration date, it gives you a little cushion. Okay. But the thing you want to do is the moment one of these contracts are signed, see, nowadays it's great. You don't have to put a piece of paper on your desk or a wall calendar to say that my buyer's agreement is expiring in 5 days and you may not pay attention. If you set a notice on your phone that's going to ding you in 5 days, hello, you need to, amend your agreement and add some more time to it. So that's what you want to do. But if that buyer has terminated and gone and did another buyer broker agreement with another agent, then you do not get the compensation even if you showed them the property. Okay? You guys may not hear the terminology. It's old terminology. It's called procuring cause. So back in the day, if Rebecca showed a property to Erica, because this is before you had to have buyer's agreements, and then Erica heard from her sister that, oh, Allison's a really good agent. Let Allison write the contract for you so she can get the commission. Then we can all go to the beach. So Erica says, okay, that's fine. So Allison may or may not have shown Erica the property, and she writes the contract, and it goes through, and you get paid. Okay. Well, Rebecca's broker back in the day could contact your broker and say, Rebecca was procuring cause and you owe Rebecca the money. Okay. That doesn't happen anymore. We're here on paragraph 8. Compensation right. Yeah. So that's where that's why the termination's there, and if a buyer chooses another agent or your contract is terminated and they've gone to another agent, you're not covered anymore. Okay? So you could have shown the property to Rebecca, but she fired you with whatever termination you agreed upon, and then she went to Allison to write the contract. Now, a good broker would say, Allison, you make sure you go show the property. Number one, Allison should see the property, but it just covers the fact that there's nothing hinky about it. Okay? But if during the enforceable contract to acquire real property, during the term of this agreement, buyer defaults on the terms of the contract. So the agent may or may not get compensation from the buyer, depends on how they default under